Indian businesses are less optimistic about growth in the first quarter of 2019 as compared to the December quarter. According to a survey conducted by Dun & Bradstreet, the Composite Business Optimism Index stands at 73.8 in the first quarter of 2019, a 7.2% drop as compared to the last quarter of 2018. Be it net profit, new orders or sales volume, India Inc. is less optimistic about an increase in the numbers as compared to the previous 3 months. To discuss the findings of the survey, we are joined by Manish Sinha, the Managing Director, India of Dun & Bradstreet. Manish, my first question to you. In your report, you have pointed out 4 key areas, and that largely includes the ruling party in centre losing 3 states in the state elections. It includes an unevenly distributed monsoon. It includes continued protests from farmers with respect to loan waivers and fears of fiscal slippage, along with macroeconomic worries of a slowdown in the global economy. What, to your mind, is attributing to this loss in business optimism, and how long is that likely to continue?
Hi, Kritika. So these things are always a mix of multiple things, and they usually play on each other. And you've listed the combination of domestic and the international drivers of this loss in optimism. So it's pretty much these things. As regards how long it's going to continue, if I had to point out the 2 biggest things in the coming few months that will have the biggest impact, and ideally an upward impact, it would be the budget announcements, and then after that, the elections.
Okay. Manish, just help us put this into perspective. The overall business optimism index has declined by 7.2%. How significant is this drop if you see the last quarter, if you see the last year at the same time?
Yeah, so those are exactly the 2 metrics you have to look at, Kritika. So compared with, say, 74, I'm just working round numbers. So compared with the 74 of this quarter, it was 91 in the same quarter last year and 80 in the previous quarter.
Okay. And if you were to put this into perspective, is this the largest drop that we have seen in the recent, say, about 1 to 2 years' time?
No, it's not the largest drop. It is significant. And the other thing to mention is that of the 4 groups of metrics we look at, 4 of them have a moderate drop, which is a combination of the things that you've talked about, right? So, but there is a significant drop in terms of optimism related to selling prices that business can get. And interestingly, there is an upward optimism on the employees and the recruitment that companies intend to do.
Okay, so tell me about the selling prices. What seems to be the driving factor for that, and what was the view of businesses when it comes to recovery with respect to selling prices?
Yeah, so selling prices is always a combination of a few things, right? So the significant drop in selling price comes out of a reasonable drop in 4 areas, which is net sales, net profit, net new orders, and inventory. So on these 4 parameters, there is an overall drop. And all of this means that businesses are saying that I'm not so sure I can realize higher prices from my own customers.
Okay. Manish, the point on new orders, I wanted some clarity on. Now, where largely are the new orders seeing a decline in terms of optimism? You said that there's a decrease of about 7 percentage points as compared to Q4 of 2018. So what sectors are seeing this? Because new orders is something that is critical for sectors like infrastructure, real estate, power, steel to actually see a leg up, which is critical for the economy.
Yeah. So of our 7, the biggest drops in new orders received are in construction, as you pointed out, and services. Services, in turn, are a combination of 6 subsectors. So BFSI, hospitality, IT, media, retail, etc. But that is secondary to the drop in construction, which is the biggest drop.
So what is the view in that case when it comes to what lies ahead for new orders? Is this likely to continue given the fact that elections are also around the corner? Macroeconomic volatility is not likely to stabilize, at least in the next 2 quarters.
Yeah, so, Kritika, these things are very much dependent upon, business sentiment is, it wants certainty or at least confidence and stability. if you can give stability along with some kind of optimism, which is what we had exactly this time last year, you get significantly upward optimism. And I don't think you're going to get certainty or stability till the elections are over.
Okay.
So that would be the short answer to your question.
Okay, very quickly before we wrap, Manish, volume of sales has seen a 4% dip. Is that a marginal dip in your view, and would that see a recovery around the corner?
Yeah, it is. I would not say it is a huge dip, and that is something that could see a recovery around the corner, because a 4 percentage point drop is not.
And
huge.
what sectors is that? What sectors is that, Manish?
In terms of new orders?
In terms of volume of sales, yes.
See, volumes of sales, we actually have a positive movement in two of the sectors, which is intermediate goods and consumer non-durables.
Okay.
Where you've seen a drop that's pulling the overall average down is construction.
Is construction. So construction seems to be a key area that has affected across the board. Okay, before we wrap, very, very quickly, one last word from you, Manish, with respect to the employee aspect. If you're saying that the employee optimism has increased, does this mean that there are more jobs in the market, or there is more supply of employees in the market?
It means the former. It means that there are more jobs.
Okay.
And there is, to some extent, a calendar effect of that, but that's what it means. It means that there are more jobs, companies intend to do more hiring.
Okay, so that is some good news, definitely. Thank you so much, Manish Sinha, for joining in and giving us a wrap of the business optimism.